and has published more than 20 articles. So a very warm welcome to you, ma'am, on behalf of college. I request our principal, sir, to kindly welcome madam. Thank you, sir. We also have with us the students of the BMS College of Law. A very warm welcome to you as well. So without any further delay, I would like the BMS College of Law to take over. Thank you.
Yeah. Respected principal, distinguished faculties, and my dear students of both this college and the College of Commerce and Management. So today we have come here to create legal awareness on various topics such as rights of an arrested person, regarding POSCO, regarding POSH, and other rights like rights of children, rights of consumer, etc. So first of all, why legal aid in India? Especially why free legal aid in India? So we all of us know it is the duty of the state to provide justice to all. So it has been guaranteed under Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, equality before law and equal protection of all the laws and justice. So I am a poor man. So there are the differences in the society, haves and have not, the rich and the poor, the rich becoming the rich and poor becoming the poor. So I am entitled for equal justice and access to justice. So how to get this justice? So it has been guaranteed under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. So for example, I am a poor man who is socially, educationally, economically downtrodden. Then how to access to justice? Those who are richer, they are in a position to offer to earn highest paid advocates. But where is the poor man? He is unable to access to justice. He cannot engage an advocate. Then where to get the justice? So here is the free legal aid in India that comes into the picture. So on with this initiative, on 9th November 2021, the government initiated, that is Ministry of Law and Justice, informed Lok Sabha about the Pan-India Legal Awareness and Outreach Program. And especially on this particular day, it was launched. And continuously from that particular year, that is 2021, 9th November onwards, it is the duty of the National Legal Services Authority to create legal awareness in surrounding schools and colleges and in to the public throughout India. So in this initiative, as a law college, we have taken initiative to create and to impart legal awareness in surrounding schools and colleges with respect to various legal issues related. So first of all, so who are eligible for this legal aid? So first eligible is women and children. So women are the privileged class of people. They are entitled for free legal aid, because the circumstances and the situation, there may be some undue influence, etc. So therefore, women are entitled for free legal services in India. She may be a rich or she may be a poor. Even though she comes by RD card, she is entitled for free legal aid just because she is a woman. So women and children are entitled for free legal services. Apart from that, the members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, so even they are privileged class, so certain rights are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So therefore, they also entitled for free legal aid in India. Then industrial workmen, then victims of disaster management, then violence, flood, drought, and earthquake and any other industrial disaster, etc. And recently we have undergone and still we are a real witnesser to this pandemic, the outbreak of pandemic COVID-19. So they are entitled for free legal services and also aid. And further, the people whose income is less than rupees 5 lakh, so all are entitled for free legal aid. And apart from this, very important is victims of trafficking in human beings and beggar. So they are also entitled for free legal aid under the services. Now the question is to what level the free legal services is given. Yes, right from the junior civil judges court to the apex court, that is the highest appeal, you are entitled for free legal aid. And apart from that, we have other legal institutions such as from taluka level to the Supreme Court, that is Taluk level district services authority, DLSA District Legal Services Authority, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, and National Legal Services Authority. So all these institutions, it is their duty to provide legal services and legal aid to the people who are in need or who are approaching that particular institution. So with this, I would like to entertain, or I would like to create awareness with respect to rights of an arrested person. See, we are all born with free and free movement here in India. So we are not with the chains, etc. So we have a right to freedom of movement under Article 21, right to liberty and freedom of movement. So under what circumstances a police can arrest a person? So police has got power to arrest a person with warrant or without warrant. So what are the rights of an arrested person immediately after arrest? So immediately after the arrest of a person by the police officer, I must be informed because I should know why I have been arrested by the police officer. So I must know the ground for arrest. That is, first information has to be good because right to information is a must, and we are having certain rights. It is my right to know what is the reason for arrest. Second, I must be informed to make a call to my family members. So I must know, I must tell my husband or wife or the children about this arrest so that they can take further progressive step with respect to this initiative, because I am with the police officer as an arrested person. Followed by this, I can also inform a friend. A best friend is very important. So therefore, I must be allowed to inform to a friend and relatives. Third, I must be allowed, I must be presented before the judicial magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. So here 24 hours is very important. So this is a time limit that has been given by the Constitution. Within 24 hours of arrest, I must be produced before the judicial magistrate of first class. Right. So this is called as legal arrest. So after arresting by the police officer, these are the procedure to be followed if it is a legal arrest. So immediately the judicial magistrate of first class, that is JMFC, he will take initiation and he will take the cognizance of the offenses that has been committed by me. So in case if it is proved that I have committed an offense, then charge sheet will be filed, then FIR will be filed, and then he will hand over me from the police custody to that of a judicial custody. And then I will be handed over to the prisoners, and the prisoner in authority will take me into custody. And whenever the case is there before the court of law, they will take me before the court and they will produce me before the court of law, and then I'll be continued as an under trial prisoner. So this is with respect to rights of an arrested person and a legal detention. So let us reverse this as an illegal detention. So let us imagine police has arrested and not taken to the police station at all and not entered in the police diary that such a person has been brought to the police station at this time, etc., etc. Nothing has been mentioned, recorded in the police diary. But without taking it to the police station, they have taken it to some other place. So this is called as illegal detention. So there is a remedy under the provisions of the Constitution itself for the protection of illegal detention and illegal arrest. So that is called the writ of habeas corpus. So any person on my behalf, because I'm already in the police officer, so I am unable to do anything. So on my behalf, so somebody will file, somebody has got power to file a writ of habeas corpus before the court of law. So habeas corpus means the meaning of the habeas corpus means to produce the body, zinda ya murda, whether the arrested person is live, is living or dead. Zinda ya murda. You produce the body before the court of law. You have to produce him before the court of law, either living or the dead body. So that is the writ of habeas corpus. So with respect to, this is with respect to legal detention and illegal detention. So with respect to one legal awareness, I would like to inform. Say, for example, there are a group of people who are suffering from any reason. So they are not paid the regular minimum wages or the day-to-day payment. So they have not been paid. So on behalf of that particular group of people, can anybody approach the court? So that is called as public interest litigation. So PIL, any number of public interest litigation you can file before the court of law. See, for example, there are public spirited lawyer. The one most popular is MC Mehta. MC Mehta, he has filed number of public related cases with respect to social justice and with respect to environmental laws, etc. So with respect to that, I would like to tell. So one is PUDR versus Union of India, People's Union for Democratic Rights versus Union of India. In the year 1984, we hosted the Asiad Games. For the purpose of conducting Asiad Games, the proper infrastructure is required. So at that time, we were lagging behind, we were lack of infrastructure, and it was a major task of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to bring the infrastructure. So this particular project was given to some independent contractors, and these independent contractors are given it to various contractors, and the project was going on. So for example, one independent contractor was in charge of putting up the swimming pool, another is athletic, in that way various sports activities has to be put up, the construction, it was going on. But these laborers, the one who were working day to day, like today we are seeing the project of metro, Namma Metro. So you are seeing the live work project. So in that way, in those days, the Asian Games project was going on, and they were paid below poverty line, which was not sufficient to meet kapada, roti, makan, kapada. So the meet the basic requirements of that particular poor man. So this was brought notice by the PUDR and NGO, and they filed a writ before the court of law, and the commission appointed a commission of inquiry, and the report proved that they were not paid, and they were paid only mere grade. So in that way, suo motu action can also be taken. So with respect to this illegal detention, see, police after arresting the person, so he has been arrested and illegal detention went up. So the victims has to be compensated. So in Rudul Shah versus State of Bihar, he was arrested and he was given a punishment, and he was undergoing punishment for a period of 7 years, etc. Even after completing 7 years, he was in excess in the prison. So nobody noticed that his period is over and he should be released. And he himself was not knowing when is my date of release. So this matter came before the court of law, and the court awarded compensation to that particular person. That is one. And any people, say for example, I don't want to give a complaint, but I wanted to help them and I wanted to give justice to them. So in that way, one of the public wrote a letter to the judiciary, to the High Court of Karnataka then, and then the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court was Justice P.N. Bhagavati. He was the main cause for the legal aid in India, and he considered that a written postcard as a writ petition, and he appointed a commission, and the proceedings went on. So this is called as judicial activism. He did not wait for the proper writ application, and he did not wait for the formalities. What is required? A complaint. Yes, find out whether this complaint is genuine or not. Yes, it is genuine. Immediately he appointed a commission, and the commission submitted the report. Basing on the report, he has given the judgment, and he has given the favorable orders to the necessary person. So this is called as judicial activism. So suo motu action taken by the judges. So with this, my students will continue with respect to other areas. Yeah, thank you.
Check. Hi guys. Oh, thank God. You're not so sleepy yet. Hello. Am I audible? ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ನೋ ಅಂತೀರಾ? ಅರ್ಧ ಜನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Anyways, how many of you are familiar with the language Kannada? ಗೊತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತು. Oh, what a chapal first adi chapal. Wonderful. So as our learned vice principal, Madam Dr. Sujata spoke a little about rights of arrested person. Look, I'm not a theoretical person. Anyways, before I start off, my name is Aryan DJ, President of the Student Council, BMS College of Law. Hinde bardide anta gottu, kansavri kansate kansala. But along with that, I work with the Karnataka State Police in the administrative wing. So here we are today in the wonderful institution of commerce and management. Ever wondered why you need legal knowledge? Anyone, come on, anyone. Quick answer, because I don't want to be a monologue, a dialogue. Someone, ma'am, why do you think we are here? No, please, go ahead. Hey, come on, guys. She's your friend.
To make everyone aware of the legal rights in the country.
Okay, right. Thank you. A big round of applause for that. See, this is just a small attempt and an initiative by all law colleges to make sure that ours, first of all, we are trying from the fundamentals. Our sister institutions know a little more well about the law in totality, and make sure that the country is legally aware. Because even today, we are in a situation when we see a traffic cop, gadi tirgiskonu vapas hogtivi. Do we need to do that? No. We need to first stop and we need to ask what is wrong. I have been a student in the 10th grade where when I was walking on the footpath, I used to check myself. Am I on a gadi or not? When I was walking on the footpath, when I see a traffic cop. Today, the situation is different. Today, cops come to us for solutions. Cops come to us for advices. This is how we function. Anyways, moving on to the topic that we are going to be dealing with today. That's the POSCO Act. What is POSCO Act? Anyone has an idea? No? I'll just start off. Okay. Prevention of children's being sexually offended. Understood? Let's not go to the exact meaning of what POSCO is. Now, why do we need to learn POSCO? Is it important? Is it not important? Why? That is the question, right? POSCO is really important. Okay. How many of you have seen kids? Chota bacha. Small babies. No? Nobody? Yes. Don't refer to the kids in these generation. They're very smart, huh? They'll teach you more than you know. I'm referring to kids around 5 years ago. Think about them. You could literally tell them, Bappa ni mama karita dare, and you could show them a chocolate and they would walk with you. So what does that tell us? They didn't have a maturity of mind, right? We need to understand that children psychologically are not developed. They don't have a mental strength where they can understand or bifurcate what is right and what is wrong. So what do we do as legal personalities? We make sure that the law is in place so as to ensure that they are not harassed, they are not violated, and they are not mentally traumatized. Now, POSCO Act basically deals with any sexual offenses that are intended or done against a small child below the age of 18 years. Now, before this also, we have had laws. How many of you have seen law libraries, at least on the internet, or Sunny Deol ka picture, you have seen one big rack of books, or our Vishnu Dada's movie, you see big rack of books. You've seen, right? We have so many laws. Then why are we affected with POSCO, POSH, these kind of laws? Simple. The concept is simple. See, before this, we had the Indian Penal Code, that is the IPC, gifted to us by the Britishers, which we are removing the laws, we are adding new laws, and we are revamping it every day. But as the human society is seeing the path of progression and evolution on one end, we are having the 75 years of Amrit Mahotsav on one end, Jai Modi. But on the other end, we are also seeing that humans are turning barbarians. Pratidina, we are witnessing some dushkritya by humans. We can't even imagine people are going to that extent. We are seeing 86-year-old women being raped. We are seeing a 6-year-old child being raped. Where are we going as a society? Where are we leading ourselves? Today, we might laugh at such an issue, or we may take it easily, or we may talk with our friends and just ignore it. But tomorrow, when it happens to a person next to us or the ones that we love, that is the day we'll be hurt. But now everybody can't wait for that moment to happen, right? So what the law does is, today we have the POSCO Act. Before this, all the laws, all the crimes that were done, even against children, were dealt with IPC. Now IPC has a stringent law, yes, I do agree, but they were specific to dealing with kids in the same way as that it was dealt with women of a certain age or children of a certain age. Now POSCO has dealt with three main important clauses. First, the procedure of law. Because when you deal with a child, when you're talking to a child, your conduct is different, especially a child that has been through mental trauma, a child that has been through the worst of experience. Second off, the punishments varied. The punishments were made sure that the heinous crimes that were done against children below the age of 18 years were dealt with seriousness and stringentness. And also the delay in law that we see, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq. This concept was eradicated through the POSH Act that was enacted in 2012. And thirdly, the most important part is it's a gender neutral law. When you take up policies like POSH, that's the prevention of sexual harassment, we see it has been an imminent threat, atrocities against women at the workplace in today's society. But along with the POSH, it is a general gender neutral law, which means that both boys and girls are protected under this law. Now, when I say procedure, what is important about the procedure? Now, usually when there's a crime that has happened and there's a victim who says he or she has been affected, the police officer goes in his uniform with his boot and suit. I've seen how things work. Have you ever seen a cop? Cop, Andre, don't think of these home guards and all. Have you seen a proper cop with a gun on one end, a walkie on the other end, a baton in his, looking stiff? It feels like I've done a crime even just looking at him, right? So this is not the situation. This is not the situation right now under POSCO. POSCO makes sure that the officer in command or officer in charge or the IO, investigating officer, has to be in a suitable attire, moderate attire that doesn't threaten or scare the child. Because please understand, ladies and gentlemen, understanding POSCO and learning about that work is very important, because it could leave any child mentally traumatized for the entirety of his or her life. And remember, children are the future of this city and future of this nation. So as I was saying, the police officer has to maintain a modesty in his dressing code. It has to be made sure that the child is kept in a place where he or she feels comfortable. Now, if the child says, I'm feeling comfortable in JW Marriott, it has to be done. Now, that's the power of law. All right. Thirdly, the statement that is recorded should be done in privacy. It doesn't mean that there will be 10,000 people listening. Similarly, there are procedures that are applicable in the courtroom too. In the courtroom too, when the child is being produced, it's an in-camera recording of statement, where it means that people on the outside can see the child, but its identity will be, one, protected. Secondly, the child will not be in a state where it has to be affected, where it will be scared to give a statement. It will be a dialogue between the judge and the child. That's it. So these are the perks that POSCO has put out. So are we clear why POSCO has been established? Do we know why POSCO is in place? Cool. Can we go to the punishment slide? Yes. So here we have the punishments. First one speaks about the penetrative sexual assault, section 4. 7 years of imprisonment. Remember, these are the two gaps, which means this is the minimum and this is the max. All right. Am I clear about that? Right. Section 4 deals with 7 years of imprisonment minimum or imprisonment for life. Aggravated penetrative sexual assault, where penetration has happened into the child's private parts, along with damage to its exterior skin or the exterior body. Dealt under Section 6 of the Act, 10 years of rigorous punishment or imprisonment for life. Then sexual assault, Section 8, 3 years, 5 years. Aggravated sexual assault, Section 10, 5 years, 7 years. And sexual harassment, Section 12, there's no minimum punishment and up to 3 years. Now, one of the most essential, unique element that you can witness under the POSCO Act is that in this act, there was a case that happened where there was a statement by a man made that, look, there was this child and I was watching pornographic content, right? And I was having the time of my life. And this child walks in and I realized that this child doesn't know anything. So I showed it to him or her. Now the court says that too is wrong, because that could leave a scar on the mental status of a child. So POSCO Act made sure that even sharing, showing, or even depicting even an image of pornographic content that is being shown to a child, the person can be tried under the sections, under the relevant provisions. All right. This is the evolution of law that we have seen. We are seeing the development in the field of law each and every day. It is just that we just see the bigger laws. Yaro oba chaku agbita murder 300 to 303 ee ತರ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. This is not how law works. There's a law for everything. Today you're studying about management. Tomorrow you will be coming up, you will be learning about contracts between big companies, big corporate companies. You will always have a legal advisor. You'll always have a legal team. So there's always a law in place. That is what we need to understand. Now, the first case that was reported, sadly, happened in Delhi way back in 2010. What happened then is a person was running a charitable institution under the name of a certain god deity. And then we realized that this was the same person who was involved in human trafficking too. And he was the first person who actually was the person where a case was registered against him, that he was the first person to conduct such a heinous act of sexual crime against a child who was just 7 years old. All right. This is the sad state that we are living in. Hence, the POSCO Act has been mindful even about that. And hence it has covered all the religious institutions. It may be a church, it may be a madrasa, it may be a matha, it may be an ashram, it may be what and what not. Even a charitable institution, a religious endowed institution, it covers everything that is present. So all I want to say in conclusion is the POSCO Act is here to protect the children near you. Why are you learning POSCO? Is it important to you? You're not children, right? You're all above 18, I hope. Okay. But why is it important to you? We live in a society filled with kids. We have a population of 24% of children below 18 years of age, right? So if you see a kid being traumatized, can we move on to the next slide? That's the number you're supposed to call. At least you can educate another child. You can put up a poster in your college. You can put it up anywhere. This is the government helpline number. It is 1098 or 1098. It's a child line number that is active 24/7. And please be an integral part in protecting the society and being a meaningful part of the society rather than just living a life on a monotonous journey. Moving on to the final slide. Thank you. Witnessing a crime happen in silence is being an accessory to it. Be responsible and always be legal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience.
Okay. Good morning, one and all present here. Myself, H.C. Pradyumna Rao from BMS College of Law, studying in 6th semester BA LLB. So the topic which I'm going to present here right now is about women empowerment. So you people know what is the importance of a woman in a society, in a family, in a college, in a school, in and around. So basically, I would like to start my presentation with a Sanskrit verse, which says that Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha etraitastu na pujyante sarvas tatra apalaha kriyaha. This means to say that where a woman are honored, there the deities are pleased, but where they are not honored, no sacred rites yield you the rewards. So basically, whatever you do in a society, whatever you perform, whatever you function, whatever achievements you do, it is always incomplete without a woman, without the help of a woman, because a mother, a sister, a friend, a daughter, everyone is a woman. So coming to the woman in a society. So women are known to be the symbol of spirituality. As we all know, we do a lot of rituals. We are having a lot of festivals associated to goddesses. Coming to the strength, love, sacrifice, and courage, we know a lot of freedom fighters, Jhansi Ki Rani, and many other freedom fighters. So it is also evident that the woman is a determinant for the development of literacy rate in any country, as it is the ethical belief and truth that woman, that is the mother, is the first teacher for a child. So women plays a major role in developing the literacy rate in the country. So it is universally practiced that the earth, nature, countries, rivers are always, adjoined with the prefix called mother. Just like, we call Mother Earth, Mother Nature, it's just the same. Then coming to woman empowerment, why is it required? So it refers to increasing the spirituality, political, social, educational, and gender and economic strength of individual and communities of a woman. So it is basic need and a fundamental right for us. Then women empowerment is giving power to women to decide for their own lives, or inculcating such abilities in them so that they could be able to find their rightful place in the society. So basically, it is completely about how a woman is given an importance in the society. So what is the status of women in India? The status of women in India has been subjected to many changes since past few millennia. So from equal status with ancient times and to equal rights by reformers, which have been gone through a lot of legislations, laws, and fundamental rights given by the constitution. However, women in India are still exposed to numerous social issues, which has been of great concern for the legislatures and judiciary for taking a part in it. Next slide. So what is the need for empowerment? As we all know, there is a lot of gender discrimination, women education is an issue, female infanticide, dowry system, child marriage, and there are a lot many more. We'll discuss that. Coming to the constitutional provisions, Article 14, it ensures equality for the woman. Article 15(1) prohibits the discrimination on bias of sex. Article 15(3) empowers the state to take affirmative actions with respect to women. Article 16 provides equal opportunity for the employment. Then Article 39A provides the state to direct its policies to provide equal livelihood for the men and women. Article 39 also provides for equal pay for equal work for both men and women, which is we can see right now in many office spaces and workplaces. Article 42, it provides just and human condition for the work and maternity leave. So these are major constitutional provisions given by them. Then the legislations brought up by the government. So Equal Remuneration Act, which gives equal salary for the woman. Dowry Prohibition Act, we all know about it. Maternity Benefit. Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, which actually prohibits abortion, illegal abortion of the child. Then later on, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, we know it. Then these are some special initiatives taken by the government, like National Commission for Women 1992, the National Plan of Action for a Girl Child, National Policy for Employment of Women, and recently we all know about it as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the recent action. So it is a very fundamental need, as I said before, the society must take initiative to create a climate in which there is no gender discrimination and women have full freedom and the right and opportunities for making their own decision and to voice their intentions and words. Coming to the next slide, problem faced by women in a society: terrorism, economic inequality, poverty, deforestation, global warming, corruption. So You people might be quite surprised why I'm talking about terrorism, and poverty. How is it even associated with a woman? Do you people have any idea about it? Anyone? See, women or the rights we are talking about is not just associated with the human. Woman is not just the human who is our mother or a sister or a daughter or a friend. A woman, as we said before, she is a symbol of spirituality. She is a symbol of courage. She is a symbol of nation. As we all know, the country we are staying in, the state we are staying in, the water we drink, the language we speak is considered to be a mother. And that's the reason we call this earth we are living in, this nation we are living in, as Bharat Mata. And that's the reason we shout out as Bharat Mata ki. Yeah. Just the same way, the state we are living in is Karnataka Mate. The water we drink is Kaveri Tai, as well as the language which we speak is Kannadambe. So this is the status of a woman in our country. This is the glory the woman has in our country. So it is a very essential duty of us to protect and respect the same for a lifetime. Because, as you all said, the only motive is to make this world a better place to live. Because we all are a family, as we say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We all are a family. So just like, me, you, and everyone here belong to a family called BMS family, right? So we are a family. We need to be a family. Let's respect each other. Let's protect each other. And let's make this world a better place. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Let us do our duties, and the duties will protect us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. Good morning, everyone. You're all bored. I hope you're not bored, actually. Are you bored? Yes? Surprising. I should have heard no, because you're learning new concepts, right? That's why. Okay, let's start the session with some, interesting question. Okay. First, this row. Okay. The left side of mine. Okay. How many of you did online shopping in this week? Shopping. Okay. Not online. Raise your hands. Fest ittಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ವಾ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಹೇ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರೇಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಈ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಓ ಒನ್ ಗೈ ದೇರ್ ಓಕೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒನ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಓ ಫೈನ್ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಓಕೆ ಟೂ ಫೈನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಯೋರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಲೋ ಫೈನ್ ಓಕೆ so do you know the difference between consumer and producer? Gotta? So do you have any idea where do you go and complain when you have a product default? Louder. Consumer forum. Customer service antidira yara? Okay. Fine. Very good. So today I'm Nidhi from 3 years LLB, first year, talking about the rights of a consumer. Okay, na? Silent. One 5 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳಲ್ಲ. Okay. So as we go on purchasing a goods, okay, there will be some defaults. Okay, na? So our defaults are where we should go, how we should approach, and what is the procedure of approachal is what we should learn now. Okay. We'll have a quick learn about this. Can we go to the next slide? So do you know what is the objective behind this consumer rights? Consumer rights ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾರು idea ಇದೆಯಾ? Just because we all go, if not us, any of our family members, mother, father, brother, sister, we go and buy some things. And every time if that product is a failure, next time you won't go to the same shop and buy the same goods. But still, do you know the difference between guarantee and warranty? ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಗೊತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ನಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಂಗೆ ಹತ್ತಿರಂಗೆ BCom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾರಂಟಿ, ನಾವು ಅವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳೋದೆ ನಾವು, ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಇದೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಇದೆ? ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಗೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ವಾರಂಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ, to retain your goodwill. Andre one product na purchase madbeke, to retain the customer's goodwill, consumer rights has been introduced. Can we go to the next? So we have certain rights. So consumer and the takshana, we have certain rights. So that is the right to safety, right to choose, right to hear, right to be informed, and right to a healthy environment, right to redressal, and right to consume, consumer education, and right to basic needs. These are all the things we have. Okay, now, so can we go to the next slide? For example, let's take an example that you have bought a electric bike. Okay, now the trend is electric bike, alva? Yes? Everybody, now bullet iddaru nanage electric bike bekama, nim bullet aru irli enaru irli, but you need an electric bike. Trend, I've heard, don't say no, I've heard. Okay, so electric bike, we have bought an electric bike. You got it to the college, parking ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದಿರಾ, like suddenly it caught fire. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾನೆ it has caught fire. Okay, so ಆ ತರ ಆದಾಗ, do you know why it happens? ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಾ? And have you inquired about how to handle it? That is what right to safety. The certification, ivaga gold tagontira andre hallmark sign henge irbeko, ade tara ivaga electric bike tagontira, helmet tagontira andre there is something called as ISI marks. You should check for it first, not just going and buying things blindly. That is when the right of safety is important, and that is when it comes to play. Okay, the next thing is right to choose. Okay, you go anywhere in a mall or somewhere, and you have the rights to choose what you want. It is not compulsion that you have to buy this one only. Ivaga college ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗಲೂ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಮಗೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ you have your own choices. You can either go for a lower brand or a higher brand. That again depends on you. No one can compel you that you should buy this or that. And it is right to be informed. For example, you're buying a bike, electric bike, as I told you earlier, that sir, you should charge it only for 8 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours. It should be, you have to be informed. For example, if they have not informed, I'll again go for the responsibilities of a consumer. Okay, if they're not informed, that's their mistake. Then you can go and file, okay, in the consumer forums. Then you should be educated. The informed and education about the product means the same. Then it is like right to be heard, means you have a problem now, bike itara, like it is on fire. Where do you go and talk? You should go to the district, state, national consumer forums. So there is where you will give the redressal. So you can't go to the court, civil court, high court gela hogakagala goods bage. It's only for the crimes. But here it is like you have a problem with the good means you should go to a consumer forum. And a compensation, for example, either you can get a new bike or you can get a compensation for that in the monetary form. Next. So till now I told you the rights. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a responsible consumer, right? For example, this is a common example, like which all of you can understand. Do you know this? We have the first copy of brands, Gutta. Everything has a first copy now. Watch, shoes, shirts, cosmetics, everything. You go to this commercial street, especially girls, Gandhi Bazaar commercial street, you find this now. They are selling this branded concealers, lipsticks for a very low rate, because it's not original one. It's like the first copy. Nan adun tagontivi, then I start using, I get some infection, allergy, I go and complain to the brand. ಈ ತರ ನಿಮ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿದೆ. Does it make sense? Are they responsible for it, or am I responsible for it? Me, right? The one who purchased it without having any concern about it. That is when you have to be aware what you're buying. You should be aware what I'm purchasing, and you should always recheck on the things. That is when it makes the responsibility of a consumer. And it's like you should think independently. We have this marketing agents who work on they get paid for marketing. It doesn't mean that you get brainwashed with what they say. You should also have an thinking capacity that should I go for this? Should I go for a petrol vehicle? Should I go for a electric vehicle? When you go to the showroom, they say, sir, tumba chanang mileage kodutte. Okay, fine, mileage kodutte, but like it is risky, right? Anyway, it's risky anta gotta. You should think all the aspects. You should rethink on it. Okay, independent agi consumers adaga, it's our responsibility to work on it. And the rest, you should speak out. If you have some problem, you should go to the forums. It's very approachable. The consumer forums have become very approachable, and you can go and approach them at any point of time when you have a problem. Can we go to the next slide? And you can go and complain. Do you know the limits? Like what are all the consumer limits, forum limits? Anyone? No, right? So we have 3 consumer forums, that is like district, state, and national forums. Any commodities which is like up to 2 lakhs and below 1 crore can be dealt in state as well as district forums. Any commodities or a good which is above 1 crore up to 20 crores will be dealt in national forums. Okay, this is everywhere you have. If you Google it, you will get the address. Okay, you can go and file your complaint, and you can it will be like court trials only, but it will be in a different form. And it's like brand loyalty, we call it, as you have to be responsible consumer. Like you buy one product at a time and you're adjusted to that. Try to be responsible towards that brand, because you know everything about it. That is when we behave as a responsible consumer. That is what it says. Next. So did you understand anything about consumer rights? Yes? No andre nidde ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅರ್ಥ. Fine. Okay, this is what I meant to say. When you have a problem with any of the goods or commodities or service, hotel services ಮೇಲೂ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? You know, saloon ಅಲ್ಲಿ if they are like not giving proper service, you can again go to consumer forums. ಅದ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Many of you don't know, because we don't know. Utilize ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. Okay? No, not talking to yourself. You can talk to me. You can talk to me, ask me any doubt. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. It's 12 p.m. So I will not take much of your time. I will try to keep it short and crisp. Okay. Today I will be talking about Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. So ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, and how many of you all want to work in any companies, maybe big companies? Please, can I have a raise of hands? ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಆಸೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಬರೀ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತನಾ? ಓ, ಓಕೆ, ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಕಂಪನಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್, ಓಕೆ, in every company, okay, it may be any company or a workplace, there has to be something called as prevention of sexual harassment. So this act was brought out in year 2013. So now if government wants to come out with a legislation, yadaದ್ರು ಒಂದು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so our government has to be woken up first. ಎಚ್ಚರ ಪಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಗುರು ನೋಡು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಈ ತರ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ. So in the same way, there was one incident that took place in Rajasthan which led to a judgment, and then which led to the enactment of this act, Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act. So That case is famously called as Vishaka case. That is Vishaka was a state of Rajasthan. So this the facts of the case is very disturbing. So that too, why this case came to highlight, or that why that incident came to highlight, was the victim was supposed to go to UN and address represent India. So what happened was the victim was a activist. So Rajasthan, we all know, we have heard many instances of child marriage, right? So she was an activist who used to fight against child marriage. So in one such incident, what she did was she went to she stopped a child marriage. The parents of the bride and groom were very famous, influential people. So what happened? So when she stopped this marriage, what happened was that they got very angry. So what they did, actually, after 2 to 3 days next after that event, the men from the bride and groom family gang raped her. That too in front of her husband in a road at broad daylight. This is what happened. So this came to light because the victim, and by the way, her name was not Vishaka. Vishaka is the name of the NGO which helped her. So this came to highlight, and then when it went to Supreme Court said that there is a need for a law to be made about prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. So now coming to say this happened somewhere else, right? Coming to Vishaka case, this happened somewhere else. This didn't happen in a company or place at workplace. Now, what Supreme Court held that, see, sexual harassment at workplace, why this comes under workplace is she is an activist. So the place the event took place or the marriage was taking place, that itself is the workplace. And regarding that, this event has happened. As a vengeance for that, she has been raped. So this can be considered as a workplace. This is what Supreme Court held. So after this incident took place in 2013, central government came out with this prevention of sexual harassment. So now let us understand what constitutes sexual harassment at workplace. So it has given a very broad scope for considering what is sexual harassment. Even showing pornographic content or making sexual advances or using sexual innuendos. Meaning to say sexual innuendo means simple, okay, that doesn't mean, but they are meaning that. For example, so these things are actually called sexual innuendos. These should not be used. These should not be used, okay? So even all these things are considered as sexual harassment. Now, one very good aspect of this act is that it doesn't only cover people who work in companies and all. It even helps covers people who are working in houses, like housemaid. ನಿಮ್ಮನೆಗೆ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತೊಳೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಸ ಗುಡ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So now for example, if you go to companies, they will have their own complaints committee, which has to be constituted as per this act, that is called as internal complaints committee. So the constitution of this committee is there will be one female senior employee from that who will be the president, and one lady from an NGO who works for this women empowerment things. So what they'll do is they actually call the parties. The first thing is that they try to reconcile. Okay, if that is not major, if it is major, no reconcile. It will directly go file a complaint in police station. Okay, and again it will take the court process. Okay, so internal complaints. So first they try to reconcile. If that doesn't happen, then it goes to trial and all. Okay, so what are the remedies available to aggrieved women under this act is that first is monetary compensation. Okay, so this, and if there are she is afflicted health is some injury, okay, the person, the accused or the person convicted has to pay the compensation, maybe for mental trauma or any other physical injuries. Now I talked about people who are working in companies and the companies which have internal complaints committee. What about some places which doesn't have internal complaints committee? Well, some small company, there are only 20 employees and such. So those people, by law, they are not required to constitute internal complaints committee. So what about them? And what about housemates? Okay, so if some sexual harassment took place to housemate and she complains to the ಯಜಮಾನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಬೈತು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so these kind of things shouldn't happen. So there is the government plan to set up local complaints committee. So this is here in tahsil level, district level, and all. And so if there is, the agreed woman can directly approach the local complaints committee, where if she can't afford a lawyer will be appointed by the state itself. That is the free legal aid. Okay, so the complaints committee will take into cognizance what the incident has taken place and award compensation and as well as imprisonment. In a recent case where I studied, the recent case, the local complaints committee awarded a compensation up to 10 lakhs and also rigorous imprisonment for 3 years. Okay, so local complaints committee has power. Okay, so this is actually about POSH Act. And one thing I would like to say about this act is that the confidentiality will be maintained. Okay, it may be about the person who complains. For example, the victim is so shaken that she is not able to complain. Okay, so her friend or a family member can approach the local complaints committee or the internal complaints committee and file a complaint. And the confidentiality of the victim and also the accused will be maintained. Their names will not go out. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅದೇ ಹೆದರ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣೆದುರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಐಸ್ ಯು ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಎನಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ವುಮೆನ್, ಈ ಆ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹೆದರ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಅವರು ಹೆದರ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ, ಬೆದರ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಕಾನೂನು ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೋತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವಿಟ್ನೆಸಿಂಗ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣೊಬ್ಬಳು ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತಾರೆ, ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತೇ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತಂತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, please stand up for yourself. Thank you.
Check. ನಾನೇನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಈ ಮಾಡಿದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನಾನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಎಳಿತಾರೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, so I would like to thank Principal Sir and faculty members, students of BMS College of Commerce and Management for having us here. One quote ide enandre, sharing a knowledge. Wait, I forgot. Wait. Okay, sharing a knowledge is the power is gained by sharing knowledge. Power is not gained by sharing knowledge, but wait, sorry, again, sorry, wait, I forgot. Okay, ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಸಾರಿ. ಪವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೇನ್ ಬೈ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ನಾಟ್ ಓಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನ್ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಅದ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹಂಚಿದಿರಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ BMS ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೀ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಏಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ವೈಸಸ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಎನಿ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಫೀಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಟು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಏನು ಬರೀ ನಿಮ್ಗಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ ಮನೆ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ, ನಿಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನೋ ತಗೊಬೇಕು, ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, feel free to contact us. And thank you so much. You all been a wonderful audience. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.